All right, Dwane, obviously everybody looks at the standings. They see this as a potential playoff matchup. But when you guys approach this game, trying to build on what you're trying to do for the rest of the season, what are some of the things that Indiana does that you guys really need to lock in on?
Well, they play a playoff-style basketball, first of all, very physical. They pack the paint. You're not going to be one-on-one to one-on-one to one-on-one and beat this team offensively. And defensively, you got to get into them, make them feel us. I thought the game here last time, we started out the game, they felt us, but for whatever reason, they flipped the switch, and now they were into us, and we weren't touching them. So we've got to play a physical style basketball game. We can't get into, like I said, a one-on-one game. It's got to be a move the ball game, play on the weak side, get your feet into the paint, then kick it out, and then play from that standpoint. But again, it's going to be a physical, aggressive, inside-out type of game.
Dwane, you talk about the ball movement against Milwaukee. The ball was moving, like you said, 2 feet in the paint, kicking it out and moving it around the perimeter. Why did that happen in that game as opposed to consistently throughout the season?
Well, it's a lot of reasons. One, DeMar's game is more of an ISO game. That's his strength. That's his gift. That tends to slow the game down a little bit, and then there's no negative to DeMar. That's how he's an all-star. Jonas Valanciunas, when the ball goes in the post, it slows down. Whereas the other night we had probably Kyle's the only guy that really was an ISO type situation. So you have one, and that had a little bit to do with the ball was zinging around. Again, now we may not be as zinging it around as much as we were against Milwaukee, but the ball has to continue to move. It's got to go from A to B to C and then attack. And, that's the way we're going to have to play. If we come down and just go one-on-one or straight post-up or straight ISO, we won't be successful offensively.
Dwane, is Biyombo all you thought he would be, or has he maybe exceeded what you?
He's always thought he would be and more, Zick, and the fact that his spirit has been so strong, his ability to talk the defense has helped everybody. It's contagious to our other bigs. Jonas has taken after it. But his presence and his physicality has really helped us. His screening has helped us. We're in the past been a very bad screening team, and he's really brought some of that to us, his screening and talking and just a defensive presence on that end of the floor.
What happens when, going back to the game in Milwaukee, he blocked the Greek Freak. When something like that plays out, do you sense maybe an emotional lift?
No
when
question.
A big play like
He
that
makes
occurs?
plays like that. It lifts us up, diving on the floor. He had 2 blocks in one possession in that one play. It was huge. And, again, it gives you a lift, especially when it comes from the defensive end. But just his physicality, his spirit of doing what's right, playing the game the right way, playing with a pure heart is so important, that what he brought to our locker room. That's a presence that he's had in our locker room that's been very important, and it's a big piece of our chemistry of our team. And it's not all analytics. It's not all about numbers. And I say that all the time. A lot of times we get caught up in that. He does so many more things that numbers don't measure.
We talked in the same regard about Scola that way. Is it unique to this team and part of the reason for success?
I love analytics, and analytics are great, but they don't measure a guy's heart. They don't measure a guy's spirit. And I remember this commercial I see all the time where Brian Burke says, analytics doesn't measure a guy blocking a puck with his nose. And that's so important that it tells you a lot. Analytics tells us a lot and helps us a lot, but it doesn't buy the spirit. It doesn't tell the story of the spirit and the soul and the pure heart a guy plays with.
They're both really quiet guys that we see, at least. That's obviously not true.
With Biz.
Yeah, well,
Biz
that's true.
He's a talker, and which is what what brings to the. But Luis is a quiet leader. He's a quiet spirit, but you feel it, you know it. When he speaks, it's profound. It's from experience. He's played in huge games. If you don't think those games that he plays in the Euro League and for the the World Championships are big, go in their country, and you got a whole country on your shoulder as much as anything else. So the moment doesn't bother him, and that's really helped us in a lot of situations.
This team hasn't had those kind of old souls for a few years. And I don't think it's
Willis,
coincidental that
Kevin
now you're
Willis,
winning.
and some of those guys, Charles Oakley, those guys were huge. Muggsy were huge old souls, and Hakeem was there. But you got to have that. Again, I hate to bring up old times, but we had that in Seattle, and Sam Perkins, Detlef Shrimp. People didn't realize their worth to the team, but Sam's quiet leadership, his quiet toughness was huge. And in Dallas, we had a lot of old souls. So you got to have that along with the young, youthful athleticism, speed, and quickness. But there's nothing that replaces experience, been there before, and guys playing with a pure heart.
Sorry, I don't know if this is old stuff, but is there any update on Damari Carroll?
No update.
Okay.
And again, like I said, don't waste your tape on by asking or your ink, because I don't have enough. I won't give you an update.
Good.
So, all right.
Just thought I'd ask as a stranger.
Okay, that's okay.
How's
I'm just going to tell you. He's feeling better. He's feeling better. Yeah, he's still sore, but he's feeling much better.